Hi everybody, hope you're well. I'm here with my two assistants that are showing a lot of attention to me. They're basically looking out the window because they want to go for a run. But this video is about a review of this unit. It's a Auto-Vox X6 or X6, and that's a reversing camera and a dash cam, and it records front and rear and also records sound in the cab if you want it to as well. As a GPS, so you can pick out your location and your speed as part of the recording as well. And I've had some problems with previous cameras. I've probably had about 3 or 4 on there that I've never really worked out well. So I'm very hopeful this is going to be the one that I can rely on for future use. I've had it in for about a week and it's been working well. And this one here is a giveaway, so we'll do a giveaway as part of this video, and as well as the actual unit which has all the parts in, there's an extension lead as well for the rear camera if you're going to fit it in your van and there's not enough distance on the camera lead to do that. So that's a giveaway as part of the video, and I'll tell you how to do that at the end of the video. There is a discount code as well. Down below in the description is a link to the website, and I think there's a 10% discount code. So if you don't win this one and you want to buy one, you can get some discount off that. But this is the unit. But this unit here is a full camera screen. There's a camera on here with a GPS unit, and then there's a hardwired camera that goes all the way around the van, out the back and on the back of the van. Let's have a look at this Auto-Vox X6 camera. What you get in the box with my two lovely assistants, who will be no help whatsoever. So in the box, it comes in this type of box here. There's the one that's going to be the giveaway. You get the actual rear view mirror, and on the back of that it has clips to fit over an existing mirror. Now I don't have an existing mirror, so I've had to buy this separate unit off Amazon, which was only about 12 quid, which fits where your mirror would normally be, and then this unit here will fit on there. So to power supply, you get these piggyback fuses, and these are fuses that you go to your fuse box, remove an existing fuse, plug your fuse in there, and then plug this back in. So it's like a double adapter for your fuse box really, and then it gives you a spare lead off that as a power supply. And you get 2 of these, one to run the camera through the ignition, so you look for a fuse that's fused through the ignition, and then one that's on all the time constantly if you want to have this as a parking monitor. If the car gets hit or knocked or something, this will switch on and record that incident. You get a camera for the front which is separate to this, which I like, so you can place this wherever you can on the dash, and the camera on it is actually rotating, and it's got a GPS in this as well, so it can record your speed and your location. Then there's a number of cables out the back of the actual unit. There's the main cable, they're all colour coordinated so they're easy to fit together. Goes into this wiring harness, goes into the front facing camera, goes to a power supply, and then goes off to the rear view camera that you get separately that can fit outside. There is this lead in the pack as well, which is like an extension cable for the rear view camera, and that has a power line on that, and that power line is a trigger. So if you was to fasten that into your reversing lights, that would trigger this to actually switch on when the reversing lights are on. But I tend to have it on all the time, so I won't be using that. This is relatively straightforward. This is the wiring harness. I'll just unclip it so you can see it better. I've just undone the wiring harness so you can see what it is. So there's some inline fuses there with these tabs on. So there's a black one which is the earth, one is for the constant power and one is for the switching power through the ignition. So they're basically fastened onto these, they just bayonet fits into those. But if you don't want it on to have the parking sensor on for the constant power, you'll only need to use one of them. And this is just the general earth which can be fastened to the chassis or a bus bar or something else that picks up the negative power from your car battery. So it looks relatively easy to fit. It's just the usual thing of having to run all the cables. I did get them to send me an extension cable as well, because rerouting the external back camera, you will need some external extra cable to route it through everything that you need to get through to get it to the back. So there's one for this one which I'm fitting, which I'll need, and they also sent me one for the giveaway one as well. The instructions are really good, nice and straightforward, good diagrams in them. You don't have to spend ages reading all the text. The diagrams basically explain what it is and give a clear indication of where things go and how it works. So let's take it to the van and see if we can fit it. Currently in the camper van I have this webcam that does internal, external and a rear view camera, and I was going to do a review on it, but it's not been that good and I don't do negative reviews, so I want to replace that. And I also have this reversing camera, so this new unit I've got now will replace both of them and neaten up the space. I've got this bracket stuck on there. That was pretty hard. I had to use 2-part epoxy to stick that holding bracket on there, but it's nice and solid now. The SD card just fits in a little slot in the top there. Fits on there quite nicely. And because I've got these blinds on, I have these integral blinds. I have this runner, and that means I can hide the cable, as I did with this one, along this channel. So that's the front facing camera. I don't know where I'm going to put that yet. I might put it up there. So it's also got the GPS in it. It's out the way behind the mirror. But I'll get the camera wired up first, so I know where's the best position. It's just a sticky pad. And the actual camera rotates, so it's got some movement in it. It has been a good camera, but with it being wireless and being up there, the frequency of that interferes with my radio. So if I have a low signal on the radio, it crackles because of this. So with this being a hardwire one, hopefully that'll solve it. That's on the split screen when we're driving along. So the camera on the right hand side is the front facing camera, and the one on the left side is the reversing camera, and it gives a wide angle so I can see my bike rack, and I can also use it as a rear camera for driving along as well, which is interesting. So if you go into the menu, so if you tap the screen and go switch record off and go into play, it brings up your previous recordings. And you can go to the rear files as well. That's me just driving down this road. So it records on both cameras at the same time. That's pretty impressive really, isn't it? I'm quite impressed with that. And obviously you can delete your files and you can take photographs. When you do use the menu on it, when I first switched it on, I thought, well, there's not all the things I need to see there. But if you actually scroll up, the other items on the menu are actually there. You just have to scroll up. And you can do all the things you'd expect. You can turn on GPS link to your timing, your date format, automatic rear view, the rear setup. So with that one, you can have your parking sensor lines on. So when you're actually reversing, you get your lines that line you up for your reversing. So I don't particularly like them. So I haven't got those on. Clock settings. And then you have all your moving settings. So it records in 1080p, which is good enough recording for YouTube. How long you want your clips to record for. That's on the close-up and just on the reversing camera. So this is the ladder on back of my van, and that's up against the hedge behind me. So it's got a good view. And you obviously get the clock on it. If you press the clock, it goes off. If you press and hold the screen, it goes into your driving mode. So you get a compass which works off your GPS. Your cameras are still recording, and you get your speed on there. So if you don't want any of the cameras on the screen, you can have that. Also, you can swap around the different view centers. So that's the wide angle lens at the back. As you can see, it's a lot bigger, and then you get your front camera that it's recording. I fitted it here. I had to buy a unit because I didn't have a rear view mirror on here, so I had to buy this, and the hardest bit was getting this stuck on. I used to use a 2-pot epoxy resin to get this stuck on here, but it's okay. It's nice and solid now. This is the GPS unit, and this GPS unit has got the separate camera in. Now this is designed to stick against your windscreen, but in my van I have the fitted blinds, so it would get in the way. So luckily it fits on here on the back of the camera, sorry, on the back of the mirror, and it gives enough view to have a good recording of the front view of the driving mode. And then I run the cables along, and the way this band's been fitted, AD actually made a channel to go to the back, so it wasn't too bad to actually run the cable all the way to the back. So having this on here and the other camera on there clears the dash of all the other stuff. I've got a rear view camera, and I've got a dash cam for front and rear. That's all in one unit, which is ideal. As I say as well, the previous camera I had on here was a wireless camera, and the interference from the radio transmission from it used to interfere with the radio aerial for the van, so it used to crackle a lot. So this limits that problem. It gets rid of that problem of having the crackling from the transmitter. So another good unit. I'm really impressed with this. I get approached by hundreds of different companies to do all sorts of different reviews, and I get lots of things sent to me that I don't review because they're just junk. But this, I can highly recommend this. I'm well impressed with this. It's only been in and running for about a week, but I'll keep testing it. I'll update you on future videos. But there is one of these to give away. So there's one of these to give away to one of my subscribers, and how to win that is you need to be a subscriber. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe to my channel. That makes it easier for me to find you. And in the comment of this video, all you need to do is put "I want one." It's the same way I've run a number of competitions, and the way I work with promoters is that generally I try to get 2 of the items, so I can test one myself, use one myself to make sure they're good enough and I would recommend them, and then I have a second one that I give away to people. So the second one is just giveaway as part of a competition that I'll run another video in a few weeks time. I'll put the date below when the closing date is, and you leave a comment under this video description in the comment box. All it has to say is "I want one," and make sure you use those words, because I use a computer generator to pick out the words as a random selection of the winner. I'll cover the postage. I'll cover the postage anywhere in the world, and I'll send one of these out to you. And what you'll get is you get the full unit with the built-in camera, the GPS unit, and the rear view camera. So you get the rear view camera and this built-in camera to the GPS unit, what you see here. And there's also a 3-meter extension lead for the rear view camera in case your van's long and you need that extra cable to get to the back of your van. All free of charge, just a competition, a bit of a giveaway to say thank you for being a subscriber. And yeah, I think I'd rate that quite well at the moment. Time will tell, and we'll see how we get on with it. But so far, after a week, I'm well impressed with it, and it just clears my dash up. There's enough cameras and things on the dash as it is, so having all this in one unit is really good. Hope you enjoyed the video. All the information's down below in the description if you missed anything in the video, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Say goodbye then. Say goodbye. Rosie, say goodbye. Say goodbye, Rosie. Rosie, do you want to go out? I think I need to take him for a run.